Hey, curious friends, it's Heinrich here. Well, it's time to give a quick update about our Ford Expedition 2018. So we've had it now for a month, and during that month, we figured some things out, which is, normal for a used car with 100,000 miles on it. I think the last update I provided were some of the engine updates, but let me go into more detail here. So, we had the 2018 Ford Expedition with the EcoBoost 3.7 liter EcoBoost, which actually is a pretty cool engine, super efficient, and I do very much appreciate it. But in 2018, they came out with the next version of EcoBoost. Actually, they came out in 2017. They put it into all the F-150s. But one of the things that they discovered as a design flaw were the cam phasers. There are lots of videos out there on how the cam phasers are replaced. So for me, what was the issue? Cold starts, I would hear a rattle. That rattle drove me crazy. And basically what was happening was there wasn't enough oil pressure to push oil into the cam phasers, which then would lock in the cam phasers and use them appropriately. To avoid that, they have this mechanical lock until enough oil pressure is built up that then releases, and then the cam phasers are controlled with the oil. But those locks, they wear out over time, and so these have worn out. There was a service bulletin, and there was also a recall, but the previous owners of the vehicle decided they didn't want to take it in or stay current, so they never got the cam phasers changed. So I requested to please have the cam phasers replaced with the newly designed version so I can get rid of the cold start sounds. Now, while they were in there, right, they're taking the whole front part of the engine out, put the cam phasers in. There's 4 of them, and I can get you the part number if you put it in the comments. And while they're in there, though, it had 100,000 miles on it already. So I had them replace the timing chain, the tensioners, as well as the water pump. So those are kind of easily accessible inside the front of the engine. So I was like, why not? Take it out. So what did that all come to, right? Well, let's take a second here. So I went to Rich Ford here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and the tech was Ricardo Aldababa, and he replaced it all for $2,963. Bit expensive, but I did take it to the dealership to make sure the parts and everything were accurate and that an actual technician works on the service bulletin, because I don't want people touching my engine that aren't experts at it. With that said, I got the vehicle back and it still rattles a little bit, which goes to another issue with the EcoBoost engines, which are the turbochargers. Probably heard of the deflate gate. So this is the, what exactly was the wording that they use? But inside the turbo in and of itself, there's a little latch that rattles, and you can kind of put a spring on it and get that rattle to go away. And there's lots of videos on it. Just look for, what do they call it again? I don't know. It will come to me. With that said, the other repair that we had to do, so in a previous post, I talked about the entertainment system went bad, and therefore we had to replace one of the monitors because the backlight went out on it. So Rich Ford went in, replaced the monitor, the whole thing, for the $1,100. But while doing that, they don't admit to it, but they did try to squeeze one of the cables that goes to the entertainment system up front into the display, thereby creating a short. And so the screen still didn't work. So they had to go in and replace the cable that runs from the entertainment system all the way to the rear entertainment system. That cost, let's see, altogether $390.96 plus the cable and parts $45. So I've learned it's better just to go with an iPad than to fix the entertainment system in the back of a Ford Expedition. But it's all integrated. It looks nice. It's all working now. And it is, with the HDMI port, it's pretty nice. So my kids are sitting in the back. We have an Apple TV connected to it. And so now the kids can watch their shows and do what they like, which is very enjoyable and I very much appreciate. On the next video, so let's take one more update, right? Because this is a long-term review of the vehicle, right? And I already talked about up to this point, right? We fixed parts of the engine. We did all the differential fluids, right? All the basic maintenance also was accomplished. We did the spark plugs. We did, there were some squeaks that I didn't like, so I had to get the cushion fixed. I had to get some trim on the vehicle fixed. But overall, I'm about $15,000 into repairs. I'm hoping now this is it for the near term, but I will keep you updated as we start putting more and more miles on this vehicle. With that said, thanks for joining in. Remember, stay curious, not judgmental. Till next time.